Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Yeah, I know I'm late. I uh I am late. I was ill prepared and I had to make a cocktail, so my apologies. Mm, but happy Friday. Good to see you all here. I appreciate you hanging out, man. This is pretty cool. I don't think I've ever done one of these on a Friday. And the background has changed just a little bit because the Cadillac is there. Move out the way. There we go. Cadillac is back, which means we are going to start working on it again, which I'm excited about, actually. Lots of updates for you guys. Cadillac back home. The entire chassis is painted, and we are ready to start making seat mounts and a floor in this thing. So fired up about that. Before we get too deep into all this stuff, here's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to go over the winners of the last contest, which was for the 91 Chevrolet Camaro Z28, as well as the B&P Manufacturing aluminum ham trucks that are all custom painted and powder coated to look like my vehicles, and the FSM merch. So that's pretty exciting. I'm fired up. What else? I made a list. I'm slightly organized. I made a list. We're going to talk about the next couple of events that we're going to. We're going to open a little bit of mail because it seemed like the last time I did one of these live streams, you guys, you might be interested in that. And then I don't know, we can talk about whatever the hell you guys want to talk about because it's Friday. And what else are we gonna do? All right, let's start with the comments because there's a bunch of you already. Bobby Robinette says, "Was it me? Did I win?" I don't know. I'd have to look at the list here real quick. Mason Pickens, what's up, bro? Thoughts on Gen 3 Hemis? I have zero experience with them. And I would imagine they're probably a little more expensive to build because they're not as popular as the other motors that are out there. But, I mean, why wouldn't it work? It's a Hemi. Costly Hobby says it's beer o'clock on Friday. Cheers from up north. Cheers. I'm actually not drinking beer. Last time we did this, I drank beer. But tonight I felt like celebrating. So tonight I am drinking Basil Hayden Toast, which so far so good. Kenji says, "What's up with the Lexus?" All right, let's get into it. I have a video update for the Lexus coming soon, and I went and saw it a couple days ago. Went and visited my buddy Ryan at RK Racecraft. Car looks amazing. Although it does look like it's gone 100 steps back from when I bought it. When I bought it, it was all white, and it looked, it looked good, looked really good. But in order to fix everything that was screwed up and to improve things that weren't necessarily screwed up, but they could have been done better for a street car, the car got completely gutted. Most of the chassis got redone, and all the carbon work, firewall, floors, trunk, wheel tubs, all of it got redone. And I got lucky. Some of the body panels were kind of screwed up. They had holes in them where they didn't need to be and stuff like that. A couple of dents here and there. The front of the hood was kinked. And that wasn't why I was lucky. I got lucky because my friend Rutledge Wood, who's real tight with the guys at Toyota, made a phone call for me, and we found out that they were crushing a Lexus LC500 development car, one that didn't have a VIN number. So before they crushed it, I got the body panels off of it. So my LC500 is no longer all white. It's got some gray side skirts. It's got a gray hood. I think it might have gray fenders. It's got a little bit of everything. But the car is so much better now. The steering is centered on the seat. I have more room in the funny car cage because some bars got replaced and moved. It's now a double frame rail car instead of a single, so it's stronger. The Ace Hemi, or not Hemi, the Ace LS is in the car right now. The turbos, which are Garrett's, those are mocked up right now. They're getting ready to finalize the mounts for those things. The rear fuel cell, which is the street tank, is done. Those guys are about to start working on the front fuel cell and radiator mounts and stuff. And I don't know, we're probably a couple months away from having the car back home, which means I have a couple months to hurry up and get this thing, the Cadillac, as far along as I can. So yeah, things are going pretty good. But that's what's up with Lexus. What do you guys want me to do first? You want me to tell you who won stuff, or do you want me to answer more comments here? I'll wait. You guys tell me. Corey Vose, I have not traded the gasser yet. But that brings me up to something I want to talk about. This Sunday's video is outstanding because I got to sit down and drink beers with Steve Brule, who used to be at West Tech Performance. I did Engine Masters with Freiberger and Dulcich. I got to sit down with Freiberger and Brule at the same time, crushing beers and looking over some of the trades that people have offered for Derek Beery's old 40 Chevy. So that's Sunday's video. Sunday's video is the three of us bench racing in a garage, what I should trade for. And oh, by the way, the Rotson's in the background because we happened to film that episode in the middle of our cross-country road trip in the Rotson. We stopped, stayed in an Airbnb, had Brule come over. We were in New Mexico. We drove through New Mexico just so we could see him. And while we were there, we filmed another episode of Finnegan's Garage where we look at all the potential trades. So yeah, fired up for that. I think you guys will like it. That'll be out Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time. So, all right, people are asking who won. So let's do that. Let's get that over with. Even if it kills the whole stream and everybody clocks out after that. Aaron Fields, thank you. All right, so let's go through it. Grand prize winner. We'll wait to the end for him, for her. Let's go to All right. The winners of the autographed FSM merch are Patrick Triplett of Mississippi, Brian Schmidt of North Dakota, Sarah, and I'm going to screw your name up. I'm sorry. Sarah Watua Tachis of Maine, William Harris of North Carolina, Brandon Hooper of Maryland. You guys all won autographed FSM gear. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. The second prize winners. These are the people that won those insane B&P Manufacturing, all aluminum, tires never going to go flat hand trucks. Here's the three people that won those things. And not to delay this anymore, but if you find one of these Krager mugs on eBay, get one because they're outstanding and they keep stuff cold. All right. Here we go. Brad Jones of Texas, you have won yourself a B&P Manufacturing hand truck. Todd Foreman of Nevada, you too. Clay Lawrence of Texas. We got two people from Texas that won. You are the three people that won the hand trucks. And now, drum roll. Rob G, I don't know. Just keep looking at the website for when we get those things back in stock. I'm making you guys wait. Brian, why haven't you and David ever been on Adam Carolla's podcast? We did a long time ago. Adam Carolla had David on. I was there. I wasn't really on. But long time ago. You can find it. It's probably been 10 or 12 years. Anyway, the grand prize winner, the dude or dudette that won my 91 Camaro Z28 that I got from Doug Cook at Motion Raceworks. The car with, oh my God, a ridiculously low amount of miles. This is going to go home to Larian Hillman of Louisiana. And I hope I said your name right, Larian. Congratulations to everybody. I'm super excited for you guys. For everybody, actually. This contest made me realize something more, that I love giving stuff away. And I want to give away more things. So the next contest, which is going to start soon, actually. Let me tell you when. The next one. All right, next contest starts May 23rd, and 50 people are going to win stuff. And the reason 50 people are going to win stuff is I believe, exorcised the demons from blasphemy. And I'm not going to knock on wood or anything. I'm going to say it right here, right now. Blasphemy hauls ass and is reliable. I'm so fired up on that car right now that I entered it in another event in 2 weeks. We're going to Bowling Green, Kentucky, to Beach Bend Raceway Park. You know, the place with the roller coaster and the water park and the drag strip. I'm going there for Sick on the Green, and I'm entered in gasser and stick shift. And dude, I feel like we have a good chance. Like the car works killer. And so I don't know if you guys know this or not, but since 2017, I've broke a few Hemis. I broke a few transmissions. I broke some stuff. Well, I've saved almost all of it. I think I've saved everything except one set of pistons I killed and some other miscellaneous things, but I have almost all of it. I have enough to autograph and give away 50 things. I have like 18 pistons. I have a piston and rod that's broken half from when Newbern and I had the shifter linkage upside down that one time. And first gear was second gear was first gear, and I whole shotted it in second gear and shifted it into first 4 times before I figured it out. I have that. I have pistons that are caved in from heat and lean tune-ups. I have pistons that are dented from valve heads hitting them. I have a lot of stuff to autograph. And so here's the deal. If you guys like that kind of thing, if you want an ashtray for your wife's coffee table, if you just want some, some bad juju, basically. Starting May 23rd, if you go to fsmgarage.com, buy anything or buy nothing. You don't even have to buy anything. You can literally, there's details on how you can fill out a postcard, send it in, and be entered. But I'm giving away all the broken stuff I've been hoarding for like the last 8 years because I want it out of my life, and it's kind of cool. So that's the deal with the next contest. Let's answer some questions. Eric says, are you going to get together with Cletus again? Definitely. Oh, dude, funny story. So he called me a week ago on his way to Talladega, where they had bought those 3 motorhomes and they were road tripping to Alabama. Well, they had to go right past my house, and so he called me and said, are you home? And I'm like, no, I'm in New Mexico, because I was road tripping from California back home at the same time. And he's like, we're looking for a place to stay tonight. And normally I'd say camp out in the driveway. I just wasn't there. Well, they built a brand new campground near me, and it's dope. It's got pickleball courts. It's got a water slide. Like, the place is awesome. And I told him about it. And I guess he went and stayed there, because later on that night, he's like, yo, man, we're in trouble. Jack Stan found the water switch for the slide, turned it on late at night. We went down it, woke up the whole campground, got in trouble. He's like, can you help, spread the word about getting this place some, 5-star reviews or something? And I'm like, dude, you don't need my help to do that. And anyway, long story short, by the next morning, it had 10,000 5-star reviews, and apparently he didn't get arrested and was able to leave that place no problem. Thanks to you guys, thanks to his fans. Like, apparently you get enough 5-star reviews on a brand new campground, they forget about the fact that you went down their water slide when it was closed. Jim Taylor, no signed concrete pipes. I got to be honest, it didn't even occur to me to autograph that pipe after I tried to remove it from the ground with my car. So no signed concrete pipes. Mike Bishop, thank you. Holy cow, what is that? Will ARS, holy cow. Thank you. Will says, bourbon night. Basil Hayden toasted is on the sweet side. Drink in moderation. Looking to do an engine swap and an 01 Chevy Tahoe. Any recommendations for something exciting to put in? Well, I mean, that depends on your definition of exciting. I mean, are exciting like a lot of horsepower, or exciting something different like a Barra motor out of a Australian Ford, inline 6 with a turbo? Those make killer power, and they're pretty reliable. PC Fronin says, is it true that Marty from Mighty Car Mods sends you photos of people he meets wearing FSM merch? Yeah, he does, actually. He and I text, and he has done that. I wish we could hang out more. Those dudes, Marty and Moog, were some of the coolest YouTubers I've met on this long, strange trip I've been on here. Genuinely enjoyed their company and wouldn't hesitate to see them again. You know, if they didn't live on the other side of the world, I'd go visit them more often. Okay. I have a list. What else are we going to talk about? Oh, yeah. So May 29th through May 31st, Bowling Green, Kentucky, Beech Bend Raceway. I'll be there in Blasphemi. Joe Cole will be with me. I think I'm bringing my family too because there's a water park there. Like we like water slides. I'm going. So we were for that. In June, Joe and I are going to race Side Chick. There's a drag boat race. First time ever, I think, for whoever's putting this on. June 21st and 22nd, Beech Lake in Lexington, Tennessee. And that's literally all I know about it. Is there's a drag boat race on Beech Lake in Lexington, Tennessee. I don't even have an address for it. If I figure it out, I'll throw it on my social media stuff. But it's the closest drag boat race to me in the nation. It's only like 5 hours away. So we're going to go. And I feel good about it. You know, we tested the boat this week. We'll have a boat video out, not this weekend, but probably next weekend. And I don't know. We'll go try our luck. It's been a long time since I've hung onto a rope and tried to cut a light, but I'm excited for it. So, Ray R says, "Are you body swapping the Rotson?" No, the Rotson will stay rotten. I have no plans to body swap it. I did get a donor car for it though to fix some things with it. And I'm not changing the body. I'm just fixing the trunk floor and maybe the floor under the seats because it's so rotten. It's basically dangerous under the seats. But the trunk floor got raised up for Lemons Racing for a big old fuel cell. And there's no trunk room in it. Like when you see this road trip David and I took on our channels, we threw our luggage in the Rotson, one bag apiece, and there wasn't much room for anything else. We did it, but there really wasn't a lot of room. So I'd like to put a stock trunk floor back in it because it would be better for road trips. So what else? Who's got a question? Sleeping Bunny says, and the winners are, you got to scroll back, honey. We already announced it. Davey Nick says Newbern. Is Newbern here? That'd be sick. If Newbern, if you're here, congrats on going 211 freaking miles an hour, brother. That is badass, dude. Would you ever do a cheap car drag and drive with Cletus? Absolutely. We've done so many cheap car challenges on Roadkill. They're funnest thing ever. Like when you don't care about something because you haven't spent a lot of money on it, or rather, let me rephrase that. When you care a little less about how nice something is because you haven't spent a lot of money on it, I mean, dude, that kind of freedom is the best kind of freedom. It really is. So Jason Lawrence says he's got 257 Chevy Bel Airs for sale in Texas. Interested? I'm not, but Try 5 Dave probably is. You know, he likes those Texas 57 Chevys, 2 doors, 4 doors. He seems to be all about all of them. So, Undead. So one whatever says, how much power does the Rotson make with a new turbo? Dude, I don't know, but it pegged the fuel pressure gauge and it launched the charge tube off the car the first time I matted the throttle. It probably made at least 15 pounds of boost because every clamp on that charge tube said, nope, bye-bye, and it left the chat. Jason Bacon says, has owning Alex's old truck made you miss the burnt taco? It does a little bit, but I got to be honest, not so much burnt taco. My first mini truck, which nobody really ever saw, but I had a 94 Toyota, and I got into my first mini truck club with that truck. Had my first set of 4-wheel air shocks on that truck, first set of airbags on that truck, first set of doors I ever shaved were that truck. I learned a lot on that truck. And that body style, the 89 to 95 Toyota, is probably my favorite of all time. I love the way they look with a 4Runner front end, and they're just killer. And so lately I've kind of been nostalgic for one of those to the point where I went and bought another one, completely stock with a grandpa camper shell, and it's a little beat up, but it's got pretty low mileage, and you know, I don't know. I'd like to 1UZ swap it, or I don't know. I don't know what I do with it. Right now, it's sitting in my warehouse. Every now and again, I drive it because it's just fun and nostalgic to drive it, but it's totally stock. Brian Gibson says, "Have you given up on the Bangshift Billy for Blasphemi?" I would say I gave up on it. The deal with that thing is it does work, but when we tested it, I had so many issues going on with the car itself that we didn't iron out that thing on my car in the time we had. And then I got desperate because we had to go to drag week, and I was like, you know what? I'll just put a slipper clutch in it, because I thought I could figure that out pretty quickly. And at drag week we did. We went 870. I think we went 870 every day. We went 870 3 days in a row, and then we killed the motor. But we did that with a slipper clutch, not the Bangshift Billy. The Bangshift Billy, for you guys at home that don't know what it is, it's an electronic setup for controlling a hydraulically assisted throwout bearing for a diaphragm clutch, and it will make it slip. It's got an app for your phone. You can literally program how long you want it to slip, and it's pretty trick. And I've seen it work on other cars. I just couldn't make it work on my car. The one day we had it on there, and we tried it 2 days actually. So, Costly Hobby says, "Do you know where that 94 is now? I saw you mention it went to a guy in New York and got a mag feature." I don't know where it is now. I sold it. It went to a guy named Carmel Tassone in New York. He sold it to Andy Bergio. Andy sold it, and after that, I lost track of it. The last time I saw it, it was VW Cyber Green. But yeah, I don't know where it went. Mark Holsinger, who has Renegade now. Joe Cole owns Renegade now. It's in Parker, Arizona, chilling, waiting for us to go to the river next month. So, Matt Brandenburg says, "What's next for the vet cart? It needs either a new electric fuel pump for the EFI, or it needs a carburetor. Probably going to get a carburetor because I'm tired of that thing leaving us stranded when the EFI takes a crap. So we're probably just going to put carburetor back on it. And after that, I don't know. It's a really good car. A lot of fun. Maybe could use more suspension travel if off-road was the only thing you're going to do with it, but that's not. I like kind of doing everything with it. So I like to go autocross with that thing. It needs a drift handle. A drift handle would be sick in that car. Guillermo Diaz says, "Any updates on the 67 C10? The only update is the drive shaft broke, cut a fuel line, caught the thing on fire, and it has a lot of wiring, plumbing, chassis, and body damage. And that thing, I realistically, I won't get to it till this winter because I really want to finish the Cadillac. So the Cadillac is kind of my big project for this summer. I hear my garage door opening, which means children are coming in here. Joey Variato, that lug nut mug is cool as hell. It is metal, bro. So the story with this is a Kreger lug nut mug, and it's, I don't know, probably gonna give me cancer. I don't know what it is, but it's cast out of something heavy and keeps drinks cold. And oh hey, howdy. And I don't know what it's made of, but it's sick. Holy crap, Jerry Moody. Thank you. What do you think about a 6.2 Hemi Hellcat engine in an 05 Mustang? Is that wild enough for me? I mean, yeah, but do it for you. Jesus. I mean, I think that's outstanding. Anytime you do something different, I'm in. I'm down with it. It's better than doing the same thing over and over again. So if that's what you're doing, Jerry, good on you. Keep going, brother. Hope you finish it. Hope you have fun with it. Brian Ekstrom says, "Hello, Joe."
Howdy.
He says, "Howdy." Tony French, we will have a boat update video, not this Sunday, but next Sunday. This Sunday is an awesome video that has me sitting down and drinking beers with Steve Brule and David Freiberger, bench racing what car I should trade Derek Bierry's 40 Chevy for. Super fun, dude. Kickass says, any way you could shave your beard back to how it was back in the first season of Roadkill just for fun? I'd probably have to run it by my wife. I don't think she'd be into it. I mean, maybe for Halloween. I don't know. Let's see. Holy Fit at Seth says drag and drive Greta ? Greta would be pretty cool to drag and drive. Needs a firewall, but Greta would do well. I bet that car probably could run 12s, maybe quicker. I don't know, but it would be fun. Those, mind your way.
You're good.
Go for it.
I can slip in here.
Are you taking apart furniture?
I'm done, but furniture's done being assembled and disassembled and
Joe's in the middle of moving, so he's got to disassemble all the IKEA and reassemble it in a different place. It's
no IKEA in this house, not this time.
Notice I'm here, not helping him. It was not an accident. 03 Silverado says, when are we going to see death metal again? I don't know. Later on this year. Me and Joe like driving it. It needs an alternator and a power steering pump and a little tuning work, and then it's good to go. Damien Blasphemi is the best it's ever been. And in 2 weeks, we're going to another drag and drive. Sick on the Green in Bowling Green, Kentucky at Beech Bend Raceway Park. May 29th through 31st, we will be there racing Blasphemi. All right. I'm doing Power Tour for the first time. What recommendations would you have for a first-time long hauler? Bring Rain-X for your windshield. Bring a spare electric fuel pump if you're running one. Fuses. Power Tour is hard on electrical systems. Usually people stuff. The wiring is probably not as good as it should be. The alternator is not as powerful as it needs to be for all the electronics people are running these days. Power Tour is hard on cooling systems, electrical systems, and fuel systems. So fortify those things. And the other thing you need is just a good attitude. You're going to run into a whole lot of like-minded people, like thousands of them, that are all just there to have a good time. And as long as you have a good time, no matter what goes wrong, you'll make awesome memories. Doug Tusi says, what car are you most happy to get from Motor Trend? The Rotson. Although the vet card is really cool too. I'm happy with all of them. The Rotson's probably the one I was most excited about because that's the first car I ever turboed in my life. And that's the first car I ever had stolen, was a 240Z. Not the Rotson, but I had a 240Z stolen from me when I was in college. So that, that I think was the first car. I don't remember what order they aired in, but the if you remember the very beginning of Roadkill, Freiberger owned a lot of cars, and a lot of the cars on Roadkill in the beginning were his. The Rotson and the Jaguar were the first cars projects I think that I ever really kind of said, hey, why don't we try this? So those ones are pretty important to me. Most people don't know this, but the Jaguar, I named the Jaguar after my friend Brett Oakes' old Chevy Crew Cab dually that he had named the Jaguar. And he named it the Jaguar because it had airbags and it was body dropped and it would drag all over the ground. And I just thought that was the coolest name ever. And so when Matt had told me, hey, I have this Jaguar with a small block in it, I was like, we could call it the Jaguar and we could have blower on it and, it'll be awesome. And so that's where that name came from. The Spice Melange. What came first, your love of boats or your love of cars? Boats. I grew up going to Lake Havasu in Arizona with my parents in their 71 Rogers Cyclone jet boat. And so from the time I was like 4 years old, I was sitting in the back of a jet boat with a big block next to me, and I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. So Robert Lazo, mini truck stuff in the near future, ? I don't know. I was bummed I missed Mini Nats. I wish I had gone to that. And I would like to go next year. Gary Putnam, yo, what's going on, dude? It's been a long time. Gary Putnam gave me tips on how to TIG weld aluminum. And he says, you should do a BS session while cooking bacon on a Blackstone in the garage. That's not a bad idea. Bacon, BSing, garage. I like all of it.
Bacon jerky again.
You make good bacon jerky, Joe. Owen Phillips says, are you thinking about coming back to Indy to race again? I'm always thinking. When is it happening? I don't know. Adam Long, did you miss the winners? Yes. Let me look at the list real quick. No. To the next page. Adam, I'm sorry. It wasn't you. But I appreciate you. Crackle and Pop. Can I pick your brain on a new to me 63 Bel Air if you happen to have any knowledge on them? I don't know much about 63 Bel Airs. I know they're beautiful, but I've never owned one. In fact, I don't think I've ever worked on one.
Newburgh would.
But they're Chevys, so what do you want to know? I like Chevys. Okay, Colton Rayenga says, what is the worst injury you've ever gotten during roadkill? Well, pre-roadkill, I broke my front tooth in half. If you guys are like old school fans, during the filming of an episode of YouTube before roadkill, I think it was on Hot Rod Unlimited, David and I rescued a 66 Buick Special convertible from Rick Payway's backyard. And at one point, I was laying with my head on the floor under the dash, and David was on the other side trying to bend like a stop sign or something to the shape of the floor to patch a hole. And he hit it with a hammer, and my head bounced off the floor. My teeth chattered, and I broke my front tooth. And that was right before we filmed the first episode of Roadkill. So if you watch the first episode of Roadkill, I'm trying not to smile because my tooth's broken half. That's probably the worst one.
Worse than the stitches?
Oh, I forgot about Tony hitting me Tony hit me in the face with a jack handle at Roadkill Nights. I didn't get stitches. I didn't get stitches. I did get a concussion, but I didn't get stitches. Stubby Bob, I've had a sore back off and on ever since then. But I don't feel like breaking the tooth was probably the worst thing. Any videos with Tony coming soon? We have plans to meet up at Hot Rod Drag Week. He's driving his car, his 55 Chevy with the NASCAR motor. I'm driving mine, so I know we'll get together and road trip and shoot video there. Mike Piasecki says, I'm doing Drag Week, first time ever, so please don't blow up Blasphemi before September. No promises, buddy. No promises. I will drive my car. Whatever happens, happens.
Not like we tried.
No. Chuck Rodriguez says, update on NASCARlo. It is home, and I haven't looked at it since I got home. The general consensus of people around me who are not optimists believe the engine is locked up. I believe it is not locked up. So we're going to go with that until I take it apart and actually find out. But at the very least, it needs a starter and a flywheel because those are trashed. Sam Mance, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. All right. Did I have anything else on my list? I don't remember. Let me look here. Oh, dude, let's open some mail. All right, because I told you guys I would the last time we did this.
We got mail.
Let's open some mail. Let's see here. This one, DHL, which means overseas usually. All right, this is from, and I'm sorry if I butcher your name, Jan Hendrik Wohlers of Deutschland. What could it be? And I apologize. This has been here for a little while. What's the date on this?
Last year.
No. This is from this year, but it's from January. All right. So hopefully it didn't spoil. Oh, no, we're good. It's clothing. It's clothing. We're good.
It's not some funky candy.
All right. Oh, it's a picture of us together. Jan says, want to say thank you for sharing all the fun of automotive chaos theory and the hours of entertainment and laughter. I really hope that you and other guys keep it up. And thanks for listening to my bullshit at SEMA. Oh, dude. He sent a picture of, it looks like an Asheran and some freestyle bikes, which is really cool. And, he's got a lowered S10. Dude. Keep on trucking. My masterpiece, a 01 S10 4.3. There's Jan's truck right there. Dude, thank you. And I got a very European looking shirt. Oh, sweet. I got a BMX shirt. That's awesome. And it's an extra large, so it'll fit me. Dude, thanks, Jan. Appreciate it. All right.
Saving this?
No. All right. We got 4 more things. This is from Joseph Kelby of Plymouth, Massachusetts. Ooh. We got an envelope inside of an envelope. Yeah.
What do you mean by it?
Oh, we got stickers. Live like Dana. All right. It says, "Hi, Mike. I hope the new year finds you and your family well." I think this came in January, too. My boys, not so little anymore, in their 30s, love the show. It's my favorite, especially the 55 wagon you just gave away. That was so cool. We do miss Roadkill and all the others. Bad move by Motor Trend. So we are all gearheads in the family. His oldest brother's got a 46 Plymouth. His middle brother's got a 71 Roadrunner. He's got an 86 C10. His oldest son has a 78 C10 with an Ellis swap. His other son, Alex, has an 85 C10. Jesus. Wow, you guys got all kinds of cool stuff.
Square body family.
He says, unfortunately, his youngest son, Dana, passed away in a motorcycle accident in 2019. He was also an avid motorhead. The enclosed stickers were created in his memory. I travel around the country and have seen them in quite a few places. Please use them, pass them out to your friends, stick them wherever. We would appreciate it. If you're ever in Plymouth, Massachusetts, or near the area, give me a shout. Good luck at Sick Week. Dude. Joe, thank you, man. That's really cool. And thank you for the stickers. I appreciate it. All right. The Geisendorfers. Well, the Geisendorfers are getting married. You're invited to the reception of Abigail Hebner and Vance Geisendorfer, March 1st, 2020. Whoops. I missed it.
Every time.
Dude.
Every time.
I'm so sorry. Thank you for the invite. Sorry I missed it. Where was it? Illinois. I bet it was incredible. Congratulations, everybody. Oh my God. Oh, I'm really bad at this. All right, one more thing, and this is not a wedding invitation. I know what this is, actually. So a buddy of mine who designed one of my first t-shirts, one of my early ones, has a company called Keep the Bitch Floored, and he's got his own line of flannels and his own line of shirts and merch and stuff, and he's got a really, here's one of his stickers, he's got a really cool flair for design. And so if you get a chance, Keep the Bitch Floored, check it out. He's got awesome merch. He sent these for me and Joe, and I just now opened them, which is really sad because I know they've been here a bit.
You're right.
All right, Austin says, you can have any mini truck content. Yes, absolutely. I just bought a 94 Toyota that is totally stock that I would love to put a 4Runner front end on, a 4Runner interior, maybe one UZ swap it or something, lowered it and go cruise. I'm excited about that. My friend Alex's old truck still needs work. It doesn't run right. Needs some wiring, and we need to cruise it. And my oldest son has called dibs on that thing, which I'm excited about. He's going to have to hurry up and figure out a way to pay for it. Damien says Rotson plans. The only plan right now for the Rotson is to cut out the door bars and put bars in that make it a little easier to get in and out, and then to replace the floor in the back where the trunk is so that we can fit more luggage in there. Whoa, Conrad McClure, thank you. Remember when you gave me money for the club in Vegas for my bachelor's party? Thanks for the badass story. Yes, I do. Oh my God, I tried to buy you your first lap dance. Don't know if it ever worked out, but it's a great story. Oh, that is cool. Hi from Australia. Love you guys' work. Really missed my FSM hat that was stolen. Any chance you are bringing the C10 shirt that Joe is wearing back? I didn't know it was gone. I need to look at the website. Yeah, nothing's ever gone forever. But at this point, we have so many designs that we kind of cycle them in and out of the store because we just can't make all of them all the time. Like I just realized on Sunday, that will be our 350th episode on YouTube. And I don't know how many shirts design we've made, but I believe we have 69 and a half at this point. So yeah. AZ Natalie, will you ever have another trophy truck? I was so excited when you got that truck a while back. I don't know, because of where I live. Like I brought it home to Georgia and I was all excited about it. But because of where I live, it's mostly mud and clay. The two-wheel drive, long travel truck was pretty useless here. But the cool thing about that truck is it went to my friend Andy, who's made it even better than it was. And he sends me videos frequently of it just hucking Ocotillo Wells and Glamis. And so it's in good hands. So as far as me getting another one, probably not, because I don't plan on leaving Georgia. Let's see.
Curious about the half shirt.
Sorry, what?
Curious. You said we're like 65 and a half shirts. Where's the half shirt come in?
69 and a half.
Oh. So does that stop here?
It depends on who you are. CG Killer 1220. Hey, Finn, what are your thoughts on a 70 C10 service body truck as a drag and drive project?
Yes.
Thinking about easily removable service bed like a sliding dumpster setup. I dare you. You won't. Do it. Come on. I'm sorry. That was the alcohol talking.
I think it'd be sick.
Do it. There's no rules.
Might want that weight back there, though.
I mean, it might be kind of hard to hole shot, when the bed's gone, but I don't know. You put a butthurt bar on it when the bed's off of it with a bunch of plate weights, and you could probably make it. Work. I have faith in you. I say do it. All right. What else? Lots of Life says, where are we at on the trade vehicles? Okay, here's where we're at. I still have the 40 Chevy that I got from Derek Bury, Vice Grip Garage. He has not picked up the 53 Chevy, but we've been texting, and I believe he's going to grab it in June. As soon as I get the title for the 40 from him, then I can make trades. I haven't made the trades yet because I don't have the title, but I believe it's in the mail. On Sunday of this week, you guys can watch me drink beers with Steve Brule and David Freiberger as we all bench race what I should trade Derek's old car for. It's super cool, dude. Some of the answers these dudes gave blew my mind. Genuinely surprised. So, AZ Natalie says, you won't, I dare you shirts coming next. And Joe just spit his drink out. Chris Thatcher says, what event are you going to in Bowling Green, Kentucky? It's called Sick on the Green. It is at Beech Bend Raceway, May 29th through the 31st. It's a drag and drive event, only 2 days. Beech Bend is rad because not only do they have a drag strip, but they have an old wooden roller coaster and they have water slides, which I'm going on. So I'll be there. Go to sickthemag.com. You can get more info about the event. How is Steve doing? Steve's the happiest I've ever seen in the entire... I've known that dude since 2000. I've never seen him happier. Retirement suits him, for sure. Darren Y says, hello, Mike and Joe from California. Hello, Darren. Davey Nick says, have you run Tail of the Dragon? I have. I did it in the Missing Link, which was an episode of Roadkill, and we did it a Lemons rally. And I tried to keep up with a Cadillac limo going down Tail of the Dragon and couldn't do it, which blew my mind. Another odd thing that you bring that up is that David texted me yesterday a link to a used car lot where the Missing Link is sitting for sale for $3,500. And I was a little tempted about it. I'm not. I shouldn't, but I mean, for $3,500, how can you go wrong, right? As long as it has Vince Lazo's headshot still in there, then it's a good deal. Sheena Sales, Thrifty Treasures, the pancakes. I know. They were waffles. Were they waffles? I think they were waffles. They worked. Like, if your car's moldy, you stop at Waffle House, get yourself 48 waffles. It will take the smell right out. Michael Heitman, best option and budget-friendly BBC or LS for 21-foot jet boat. Well, these days, it would depend, right? The LS is the cheaper of the two engines to build these days because they're everywhere and it's hard to find BBC parts. But converting from a BBC to an LS, if your 21-foot jet boat was already set up for the BBC, that can get expensive. You're going to need an oil pan, you're going to need motor mounts, PTO, bolts, exhaust, fuel system, all of it would have to change. So if you have a big block Chevy in there now, the best thing you could do budget-wise is to fix it or get another one. If you got nothing, then I would go LS, because if you blow it up or if a crank sensor goes out or whatever, you can literally go to any parts store and get the stuff to fix it. These days, it's hard to even find a starter for a big block Chevy at a parts store.
Starting big block, I'd probably make it a 496 and call it good.
Yeah.
For a 21-foot boat, that'd be a good motor. Fairly
Randall Barber says, I've got a rough orange 79 Dodge D100 and a motorhome 440 stuffed in it. It was inspired by General Mayhem. Yes. He's been workshopping names. I've been thinking General Chaos. Thoughts? Nah. It has to just come to you. You can't work on a name. Like, you can't force it. And not every car needs a name, you know. If it doesn't just come to you, then, you know, don't do it. Because then it never rolls off the tongue when you have to make up the name or force it. Chuck Rodriguez says, would you ever take... Oh, he says, you should take Greta to George Ray's drag strip. It's not a bad idea. Whatever happened to the mystery car? It's not a mystery anymore. I've told everybody what it is. It's a Lexus. And it is in the chassis shop still, because that's how screwed up that car was when it got to me after I bought it. So, let's see. What else? When are you visiting Tokyo for the car culture? Oh, dude, I would love to go. I'm torn on that. I would love to go just with my wife, but then I'd feel bad about not taking my kids. My kids are getting old enough. My oldest would appreciate it. He would be down. My youngest, I don't know. I don't think he's quite old enough to like actually make it worth for me to spend the money to take his ass to Tokyo. Yeah. What's Joe Cole's story before FSM? Oh, that's easy. Porn. Drinking with Finnegan on Friday. Hell yeah, buddy. All right, let's do 5 more questions. Jason Bacon says, is wife still loving the CRX? Yes, and she fell even harder in love with that car today, because today, for Mother's Day weekend, I installed with Joe the car stereo that I bought her for Christmas months ago. See, the Christmas present was the stereo. The install, that was the Mother's Day present. That's how you space out the love, guys. Just take it from me. Pro tip. So, yes, she loves that car. And now she can make phone calls and text and maybe not kill everybody else on the road by holding her phone and riding dirty. All right, 4 more. Have you ever been into motorcycles? If so, what kind? I like dirt bikes and quads, but I'm not really into street bikes at all. Did Joe just fall off his chair? No, but I think bourbon came out of his nose. All right, 3 more. Bring back the I Still Have It edition shirts. All right, that wasn't a question. That doesn't count. 3 more. Let's see.
I love that. I dare you.
Slingblade says, need a factory shop manual for the Yoda. That would be really cool to have around. Although, I mean, I'm going to mod the thing, which means most of it wouldn't apply to me. But before I mod it, it might be cool to have. Oh, yeah, for everybody that, like, I did open some mail in this video, and if you want to send me something, I'll make a community post on the community tab probably tomorrow when I'm sober, and I'll put the address to my post office box. So if you guys want to send anything, please feel free, and I will attempt to open it on a future live stream. All right. The Spice Melange says, how do you go about getting a sponsor? Do you have to know somebody, or just have the balls to ask somebody for money? Well, it's complicated. You got to have the balls. But a sponsorship isn't necessarily what you think it might be. Very few of them are straight up cash. Most of them involve a trade of services for goods. And so what I mean by that is you will trade your time, your labor for installing the part, filming, writing, videoing, posting, social media in exchange for a discount or an outright free part. Rarely is it worth your time. And it's difficult to do. You're going to send a lot of emails to companies just straight up asking them, here's what I can do for you guys. Here's how many eyeballs I can give you on your part. And you got to be prepared to get rejected a whole bunch. And in the end, you might end up discovering that the amount of time you spent sending emails, crafting proposals, installing the part, photographing the part, videoing the part, posting the part ends up costing you more in time and maybe money than that part actually was, So if you're going to do that, do it for a big dollar item. Don't do it for a case of motor oil. It ain't worth your time, But that's just it. You're going to start with an email, an idea and an email.
So the guy with
sorry?
the orange D100.
What?
For a name on his truck?
Yeah.
Clockwork Orange.
It's kind of dark.
I know it is, but it's good.
You're so weird. It's very dark. So Joe the guy with the D100, the orange one, Joe just suggested a Clockwork Orange.
I love that movie.
Joe loves that movie because he's a twisted individual. I'll tell you a little story about that movie. It's a sick and twisted Stanley Kubrick movie that I watched 2001: A Space Odyssey. I don't know if it was on Netflix or Amazon. Might have been Netflix, right? I watched that, got all the way to the end of it, and this was recently. This is probably in the last 5 years. Got to the end of it and got all pissed off at Kubrick because the ending makes no sense. And I'm like, Jesus. So I walk out of the room pissed off. I'm gone for 10 minutes. I come back into the room. There's a stranger in my house delivering something, I think, when the rape scene in A Clockwork Orange is playing on my TV. And I'm like, oh God. I'm trying to turn it off and I'm apologizing. I can only imagine what this person thought.
Sure, wasn't Alan trying to join you in the
so yeah, maybe don't name your truck A Clockwork Orange, Joe.
I like it.
All right, 2 more.
It's evil.
Let's see. Colton Rianga says favorite band of all time. Oh, dude, you can't do that to me. Favorite of all time? You cannot do that to me. There's too many. There's way too many. I can give you a list of 20, but I can't, dude. Can't. No.
Too many genres.
Cannot do that. Frank Miller says General Orange. I don't know. Territory says, Mike, still remember the storage yard where you picked up the RV 440 engine? I live by it, and it's not IKEA. I actually don't remember where that was. I mean, I remember where it was over there in the city of Orange, I think. I don't know. Robbie Reese says hobbies other than cars and boats. A lot. I like snowboarding. I like wake surfing. I like dirt bikes. I like playing catch in the yards with my kids. I like playing poker. I like alcohol. I mean, yeah, Joe's over here shaking his cup.
It's empty, sir.
Jerry Paul Baker says, did Motor Trend ever pick up the big wheel Cadillac in Albuquerque? I don't know. I don't know if they did or not. I would imagine they did because they needed to sell everything. But I don't know for sure.
I saw it in the Motor Trend lot.
You saw it in the Motor Trend lot?
Derek did his video. I saw it back there in the Motor Trend lot.
Okay. Sounds like they did. Towards the end, I mean, they were fire sailing stuff. Mason, who was a PA on several of the shows and later on got promoted to, I forget what his job title was. I think showrunner or something. He ended up with quite a few of the cars, quite a few of the tools. I mean, they sold everything out of that building. All right. One last question. and then we're out of here. Do you have a favorite car movie? Ooh, that one's hard. It's either Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, or Two Lane Blacktop, or Smokey and the Bandit. It's kind of a tie, all three. I don't know.
I can watch Smokey and the Bandit over
it's
and
like
over and over.
Yeah, it's like music. It would be hard to choose just one, because all three of those I can watch over and over again. So, anyway, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate every one of you. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for everybody that did a super thanks. That was huge. And we'll do this again soon. I don't know, maybe next week. I don't know what day. We'll figure that out as we go. But the Cadillac is back in the garage. We are going to work on it next week. This Sunday, don't forget, brand new episode of Finnegan's Garage with Brule and Freiberger. The following week, we'll have a boat video update, which will be cool. We finally water test Side Chick. And, oh, yeah, Joe reminded me. If you go to blinksauce.com, the Mike Finnegan Burnout Kit, we still have a few left, and they all come with an autographed hero card right here of the mini truck. So there's a few of those left. You can get them at blinksauce.com. Again, thanks for hanging out. Happy Friday, and I'll see y'all down the road. Okay.